trip here riding solo. Skip might be dead. I don't even know where he is or went, or there are rumors that he's in the Philippines, but I have no confirmation of that whatsoever, so I'm not sure. And Ken's on holiday with his missus. He had an incident at a bowling tournament, so they're trying to patch things up at one of those spa, like a sandals situation. End of the year, they like to just get out of here, and that's fine. I thought I'd address the polls. Looks like both the Empire and the points bracket are going to go in each league, so that's nice. That makes the commish happy, I know. One thing that the points bracket is across the board a go. The Empires seem to be a closer vote. I don't know. It seems like the money might be an issue because those were close in both leagues as to how much money should be spent on those. I think that why don't we meet? That would be my suggestion. Would be why don't we meet in the middle? Some of us, it's almost half and half. Some of us want 75. Some of us want 25. Let's just meet in the middle at 50. That's still 600 a year. Carlson had an interesting thought in the New Bold League that you could divvy up percentages of that money for certain things, like a back-to-back is worth 30% of the money, Triple Crown is worth 50% of the money, 20% worth X. I like that. I think that's a good idea, but I think that the problem with that is part of the reason why the Empire League is so interesting is because you do this thing, you win a lot of money. So if we split it up, we're just kind of splitting it up. I don't know. That's something we can talk about, I guess. But for me, I think that we just put it at 50. Call it good. If anybody has a huge problem with any of that, call, text the commish. I don't. Nobody's texted them yet, so I think that it can't be that big a deal. So I just wanted to address that. We got the semifinals here. A couple interesting things. In New Bold, we could have a rematch from last year, which would be fun. Rhonda Beatty and Douglas. Or we could have a rematch from 2009, Maddie and J-Man. That would be super fun if either of those happen. In pants, we've got Tommy making his run against Dunbar, going for back-to-back, and everybody's favorite Crawl against, who the hell is, against Shy. So should be interesting to see what happens there. I think that in the pants, the site has Tommy favored and Crawl heavily favored in pants. I think Dunbar pulls it out just because he just does that. And unfortunately for the world, I think Crawl pulls it out there too. Might be a kiss of death, who knows. In New Bold, Douglas is heavily favored over, well, not heavily, 90 over Maddie. And J-Man is heavily favored over Rhonda at 180. So, now we'll see. I'd like to see, I don't want anybody to win back-to-back, so I'm kind of hoping Dougie falters, but you're very strong, Douglas. Very strong. The kicker thing might hurt you. I should say also, you guys that try to pick guys up in both leagues, sorry, but that's been a rule in the league since we started both of them. so I don't really feel bad about it. I guess something like this comes up every year where it's shocking, and I don't know how many times I could tell you guys to read the bylaws. So that's really it. I think hopefully Skip returns from the Philippines, and Ken gets his shit worked out, and we can all get together next week. But you guys, I hope that you guys that lost last week, I know it's painful, but keep starting your lineups because you got games this week. And that's really it. So we'll see you next week. Good luck to those still in it. See ya.
Hello?
Eric?
Yeah.
Eric, Tom Triplehorn III here. You got a minute?
I got 1 to 2 minutes, yeah. 1 to 2 minutes tops.
That's not going to cut it.
Everybody, we've got Eric Bertram, a.k.a. Rancho, a.k.a. Humble Beard-Eyed Champion, on the Northwestern... Yep. Sure. Return of the Mac? I don't really understand how that's relevant.
I don't either, but it sounds nice.
Eric.
That's the interview. This is Eric.
This is actually a River Falls reference, I think.
Is it?
The commission, these guys used to jam to a little Eric Mack. Rancho, was that Eric Mack? Return of the Mac?
I'm back. I was just doing a little workout.
That's not true. That's not true. Were you your chest hair? Were you working out your chest hair?
Curls for the girls.
Okay. Was that Return of the Mac by Eric Mack?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm contemplating a name change in the league to Return of the Mac.
Really?
So I don't know. I haven't played beer in like 3 years.
Yeah, I suppose you're due, and you were never humble. So I don't know where were you trying to be ironic there?
It's proportional. I mean, I'm humble for how good I am. So it may come across arrogant, but it's sort of like talent versus humbleness.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's fair, I guess. I mean, well, shall we get started then?
Yeah, Tommy, Skip, it's a pleasure.
Goodness, well, like we can't see you, but it's good to hear your voice, I guess.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Rancho, how just right off the bat, how do you respond to being in the top 3 most hated people in the league? How do you respond to that?
Whose company do I share?
Well, clearly Krull. I don't think there's any disputing that. Probably the commish, I would guess, right?
Well, can I segue that into make it a dual question?
Sure.
Being one of the 3 most hated people in the league, how does it feel to be trailing to probably the most hated person in the league in your division?
It's a great question.
Jason Krall being 7-2 and you're 6-3?
Well, Crawl, I don't know. He's that bald, goofy guy. You don't know who he is, but he sounds despicable.
He is.
And I can come across, but there's a certain cuteness to me that I don't see in Crawl. So I think I got that going for me.
So says your wife.
Well, hold on now. Whose interview is this?
Go ahead.
If you look at his points against, I don't know if he gives blowjobs for people not to start the right people or what he does, or
Wouldn't doubt that.
anything like that. But his points against, he's getting like 100 points against. I'm at like 130 or something like that. So
124. 124. Don't kid yourself.
well, what's his at? His is like
97. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
yeah.
So you're not wrong, and he certainly is the type of guy that would give blowjobs to do that. I mean, for sure. But carry on.
Yeah, I guess that's what, and then the commissioner's just kind of a loser. I was really hoping a better showing out of the person who, to give this league a little more credibility. It's nice to have the commissioner have a nice showing and, to get his bylaws straight or to at least make them clear every year, but nobody knows what's going on in this league.
Yeah, I mean, typically...
It's tough. I know that I know you're from the outside looking in and whatnot, but you can just take my word for it. The commissioner has no idea what he's doing.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Eric, for that insight.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so... I mean, you have to be... Again, so your points for... I don't know if you're lead. Is it you or Dun? Who's leading? Do you know? Is it you or Dunbar right now? You're at 1250. I don't know what Dunbar's at, but you guys have been neck and neck all year. You have to feel confident, even though Krall is a game up. But you have to feel confident about the playoffs, I imagine.
Well, if I'm President Obama, Dunbar's definitely riding my coattails right now. He's kind of in the rear. I think he's down maybe 50 points to me or something.
So you're leading the league in points. Week 10, 3 weeks left. You have to feel good.
Yes.
You got Alligators giving up. You're gonna make the playoffs whether you win the division or not. I mean, I know who you are. I've seen you in the newspapers. I assume that you're cocky enough to know that you're going to win the championship, right?
I think so. Yeah, I just feel for Conway. I can only imagine his little puppy dog face looking at his computer every week. And how did things go wrong and whatnot. And really, he has a pretty good team.
Yep. Yeah, he does.
That's nice.
You want
an interesting trick.
You want a fun stat? I'll give you a fun stat. He is tied with Krall for points for. They both have 1060 exactly. His record is 3-6. Krall's is 7-2. Bullshit.
I would love to see Conway and Krall in a fight.
I would too.
That would be awesome.
I would too.
I would love to see Conway and Krall in a fight and then have Conway put his cigarette out on Krall's eyeball or something.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question as to who would win that fight. For sure.
So, being that the draft is held in Rhinelander every year, do you feel the need to ever show up in person and grace everybody with your, lack of a better word, arrogant presence?
You're very famous here.
Do you guys want me to come up there? I don't know. I'm hated, I feel like I'd have to come in a disguise. Like, maybe I could come as a bitch and come as the commissioner.
Well, it'd just be nice to see a show the face out and just see what happens, really.
Yeah, I think the members of the league would like you to show up, throw a couple games a die. We're to understand that your wife's birthday falls on Labor Day weekend, correct? Or the week before Labor Day.
Yeah, I could bring her, but I don't know if that would be a very good birthday present.
That's right. So that's going to be difficult. through the years, I imagine.
Plus I'm a varsity tennis coach now, so
That's too bad.
Yeah.
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 But I'll try to make it. One of these years, next year I'll try to make it.
We're not going to live forever.
I'll just say this, and I can't believe that.
Yeah, especially frickin' Skip over there. But is he taking a chug of vodka yet? That's the drink word today.
He's got about 3/4 of his cocktail left, I think.
Okay, well tell him to hurry up.
I will. Hurry up, Skip. Ranch, I'm just going to say this, and I can't believe I am actually saying it. We'd like to see you here one of these years, okay?
I'll come next year.
All right, well, let's get into it. Shit Soup's trade. We hear through the grapevine that you're not pleased with it, so let's just give you the floor here. Say what you need to say.
About what?
Shit Soup's trade.
Oh, the trade. Well, I'd rather that I'm not pleased with it. I just think it's comical that he wants. It's really, I have a different take on it. It's not that he traded AP because I don't really care that much. It's just that he traded it to Conway. And Conway is just, if you ever seen one of those slot machines at the River Falls bar, he never wins. So it's just sort of like, this was never going to work. And I just saw him go to AP, and the Vikings lost 2 games. There's just a bad water around that whole trade. And if he's going to trade it to somebody, you know, give it to the imps because they clearly don't know how to make a trade.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit since they've been making moves, huh?
Those imps, they look kind of like the 2 nerdy professors that are trying to make it in in the big man's world. I mean, I love the imps. They seem like good guys, though.
They are. They are.
We're going to need a second here. Collie just farted.
Yeah, Collie.
Come on, bud.
Collie really doused at us.
Lay down, bud.
In fact, go to a different room.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Fucking Jesus Christ.
you got a
so,
question? Okay.
Raj, you being a River Falls man, along with a few of the other fellas in the league, specifically Dunbar, I'm sure you guys have cuddled a few times, but the real question is, who would win in a leg wrestling match?
In a leg wrestling match?
Yeah, you or him.
With our legs?
Yes.
Yeah, you never leg wrestled? It's what men do.
He's got big legs, man. He's got tree stumps down there. I don't know. I'm more of an evade, and I don't know. He'd beat me.
It's the first
And he'd
time.
probably hug me afterwards and tell me to go fuck himself.
Well, it takes a man to admit it
Yep.
when he's gonna lose and head off to you. That's
Piggybacking off that question, Ranch, do you think Dunbar's overrated?
That's not. The question should be how overrated is Dunbar?
Oh, wow.
And I mean, the man. I'm the only one in the league who he stood in my wedding, and he overachieved to get in my wedding. He kind of was overrated in that sense. And he's just, I don't know. It's just, if I have to hear one person say they want to give Dunbar a hug, I'm literally won't make it to Rhinelander next year because I will slit my throat. So if you want to see me not come to Rhinelander, please say how much you love Dunbar and how cute and cuddly he is. Because fuck him.
You're breaking my heart a little bit. I actually have nicknamed his whole team and life Hugs, because I would love to hug him.
I know your infatuation for Dunbar, and it's just noted. You don't need to go there.
Eric, one, and I'm sure all the folks watching at home right now would probably. I mean, is this a matter of jealousy? Because that's awfully.
That's actually one of the words I just wrote down for my flash boil.
It sounds
I'll scratch that out.
a bit like jealousy to me. What do you think?
By jealousy, do you mean am I jealous of Dunbar?
That's what it sounds like. That's all we're saying.
I mean, if by jealousy you mean, am I jealous that he's living in Little Canada for the 28th straight year? If by jealous you mean, am I jealous that he is the manager of a hat store? If by jealous you mean that a big night for him is making homemade soup and watching The Office, then yes, I'm extremely jealous of Ryan Dunbar.
Oh, Eric. Good God. Good God. Time for the flash boil, or what do we got? There's a few words I could include in this, but they're just not coming to mind. This interview's falling apart for me. But we'll give it a try anyway.
The Flash? What's that?
Are you serious?
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I remember. I got distracted. I didn't know if it was a flash boil or a flash pause after I watched Shit Soup performance. You brought it to maybe 50 degrees Celsius. Promise to boil this bitch.
Oh, fuck me, Rancho. I forgot. I don't know how I forgot. Here we go. Are you... Alright. You got a shot handy? You do shots anymore?
He's in his car.
I don't care if he's in his car or not. You always have a six-pack and a flask in your car. You got that?
Did you say a word? I couldn't hear you.
Alright. Let's start it off. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Great. Dick hole.
My penis.
Sparkler.
The 4th of July.
Levitation.
Sex with me.
Respect.
Conway.
Home slice. This is ad-lib.
What?
Home slice.
Home plate?
Home slice. Like Return of the Mac. Home slice.
Paul McCartney.
Toilet paper.
Overrated.
Freedom.
5 years ago.
Nair.
What?
Nair? Like body hair removal product? Nair?
Luscious.
High life.
My life.
Body odor.
Not true.
Nutsack.
What's that?
Nutsack?
Playful.
Masturbation?
Continuous.
Bad music.
Bad music?
Yeah.
Ja Rule.
Take off.
Kickoff.
Take off.
Birthday candle.
Sloppy.
Me.
There we go. Pornography.
Too much.
Straight jacket.
Winnie the dog or Winnie the Pooh.
Used underwear.
Necessity.
Sure. Basketball diaries.
The Legend of Rancho.
Friendship. Dunbar.
Grover.
Cucumber sauce.
Watery.
Lamp.
Limp.
Lamp. And hot dog.
Trans fat. Overrated.
This
Salad.
This phone flash boil sure gets rough.
That was good though. That was the best phone flash boil we've had, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt there.
Yeah.
Eric, I'm going to congratulate you. Good job there. I also am going to give you the floor if you're prepared.
I'm gonna finish my drink.
The floor. I don't have a whole lot to say. I don't know. This
Good.
league is really fun. I enjoy it. I feel a little bit for Rhinelander. They just, well, I hear Northern Wisconsin's way Republican, and they just lost the election, and I don't know if any of them are going to make the playoffs this year. I'm willing to make a proposal to all Rhinelander folks. I mean, if you want to pay me cash money for some of my players, or just some advice, Andy has my number. You can call me, and I for instance, I can give you Rick Wayne in the 8th round for maybe $50. On him, I'll just give you my players, because it's kind of a moot point at this point if you let me just keep my players. So I don't know if it's legal, if the commission will allow it, but I'll just give away my players for money, but not fake money, actual money.
Sure.
I mean, I think it's fair.
Rancho, what you said last year on the message board was maybe the funniest post the commission has ever seen, in that in 3 years in this league, with, I don't know what the percentages are as far as chances go, but there are four members from River Falls, and before last year only 3 were from River Falls, yet only River Falls representatives had made the championship game. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
I don't know if it's impressive. I don't know if it says more about River Falls people or Rhinelander folks, but I sure do thank them for sticking it out with us. I'm contemplating not even, I don't know if they'll have a problem with this, but part of the reason why I paid late is because I forgot about that you have to pay to get your high points. I figured I'd have 4 high points by week 8, so I wouldn't have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. After 2 years in the championship, last year kind of had a rough go, and then blamed it on the commissioner, of course. I mean, you look good again. You look good again this year. I think you got a real shot this year.
Is Ranch the one with the checkbook?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. How often do you have to buy checks?
I had to buy some more after I set the commission my entry fee, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really hoped all those would bounce.
Do you have a cute picture with your wife on them or something? On the background? Do you love your wife?
I love my wife more than the stars in the sky.
I think the real question is, does she love you? That's the real question.
Well, you have to look, Andy. I mean,
You're not a catch.
I'm a good-looking man, and my wife's good-looking too. But I'm not saying she overachieved with me, but let's just say that she's happy in bed. That's all that matters.
That's great, Eric. That's great. All right, well,
With that, we're going to go ahead and cut it off. This has turned into the Northwestern finest bullshit line. And that was Rancho, owner of Humble Beard Eye.
sure. Any final words, Eric?
Good luck, everybody. Bye.
Kind of.
Go fuck yourself.
All right, Eric. Well, it's good to talk to you again. Good luck the rest of the way. More than anything else, I think we can safely say that if it ends up being you and Crawl in the what is that? The conference championship, we're pulling for you. Otherwise,
Yeah.
pretty much everybody else is who we're pulling for. So, good enough? He may have hung up, I think.
That's the kind of person he is.
That's fine. All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The definitive Rancho Humble Beard Eye Champion interview here on the
I finished a cocktail.
on the Northwestern Finest Sandwich Hotline. We'll be right back with week 10. Week fucking 10. Are you kidding me? Week 10 predicts.